in the country to stop the violence there. New pictures have emerged, purportedly showing the moment that Syrian forces opened fire on pro-democracy demonstrators in the southern town of Israa. Now, judging what we can from the footage, it seems to show the aftermath of clashes between police and protesters. We think on Friday, witnesses say police used live ammunition to shoot at the crowd. The authenticity of the video hasn't been independently verified, and it's not clear how many people were killed or injured during the incident, although one young man clearly suffering from some kind of wound. Well, the Syrian government is refusing to grant entry visas to journalists, so Sky's Middle East correspondent Dominic Waghorn is monitoring events from Jerusalem. And Dominic, these concerns about, it seems, the intensifying of the repression against the protesters used by the regime.
It really does seem to be a dramatic escalation beginning on Friday, and I think those pictures may have captured the moment that this escalation began. This demonstration in Israa was fired upon for, it seems, sustained period there, as you can hear the gunfire on these apparently unarmed protesters, and according to whoever posted it on YouTube, this happened on Friday. And then on Saturday, we also have pictures claiming to be of mourners also being fired upon. Mourners presumably trying to bury the people who died on Friday, killed during when these pictures were taken. And on Saturday, during the funeral, security forces opened fire on the funeral, according to those activists and protesters who put the pictures up on the internet. Now, we can't go into Syria, so we can't independently verify what is happening there, but various organisations, including news agencies and human rights organisations, reckon 120 people died on Friday and Saturday, and that has been really the prelude to a more dramatic escalation, because the army was sent in at some point over the weekend. We have other pictures of tanks rolling into the fields around Deraa and then into the streets of the town, backed up by thousands of troops. And we have reports from various organisations saying 500 people have been rounded up and arrested, and have been more incidents of fighting and these troops opening fire on these protesters. Well,
of course, Dominic, the question being asked, internationally and indeed, I'm sure, by the protesters within Syria, will be if NATO can protect civilians within Libya, why not Syria?
I think that is the question being asked. At the moment, there is a very marked contrast between the way the Americans and the international community are dealing with this and the way they dealt with Libya. For instance, Bashar al-Assad is not being referred to the International Criminal Court yet for what is happening in his country. So far, what we're hearing is just of talk towards raising sanctions and increasing sanctions against the Assad regime, but nothing more serious.
OK, Dominic, thanks for that. Let's take you straight away live to Scotland Yard, where officers are briefing the media about preparations, security preparations for the royal wedding on Friday.
At this stage in the planning of the event, the royal wedding this coming Friday. So the Metropolitan Police Service has been planning this day since the engagement was first announced 22 weeks ago. We've been working very closely with a full range of partners, which include the Royal Household, government departments, Transport for London and Westminster City Council. Hundreds of thousands of people will want to come and be part of this unique event and join in a sense of occasion. The Metropolitan Police Service role is to make sure they can, and they can do that safely. We expect thousands of people to be on the route, lining the route, and if they choose to go to either Trafalgar Square or Hyde Park, where there will be large television screens. Our main job on the day, for those who want to come to London, is to keep the event and individuals safe and secure. I'd just like to take this opportunity to give some words of advice for those people who choose to come to London, and I also want to make a plea. So in terms of advice, please plan your day before you come. Details of the ceremony and other public advice is available online through the Royal Household and through Direct.gov. We would ask you to listen to officers and stewards that are available on the day, and please do as they ask. They are there to make sure that your day is safe. Unfortunately, on some occasions, this may involve you walking a slightly longer route, but it's all for your own safety and to ensure that you can enjoy the celebration as much as you can. We are told that some people may wish to camp out overnight, and who can blame them with the weather that we've been having? But we'd ask that people do monitor the weather and make sure they come with everything they need. It is important that people keep an eye on their own belongings. Please don't let opportunist thieves spoil this day for you. But my second message is equally important, and that's with thousands of people coming wanting to support the royal family in this celebration. We really need you to be our eyes and our ears. If you see anybody in the crowd that is acting suspiciously, please bring it to the earliest attention of our officers. There will be thousands of officers on duty lining the route, and they are there to help you. If you think there is anybody there who is there with the intention of trying to disrupt your day, please tell a police officer, because we are very clear that we want this to be a safe, secure and happy event. And we intend to interact robustly, quickly and firmly if anybody engages in any criminal activity, and the public can help us with that desire. We've also been liaising with residents and business colleagues to make them aware of our policing plans for the day, because there will be road closures in place and that will have some form of disruption. I'm now going to hand over to Christine, who's going to give you more details about the policing operation for the day, and then at the end we'll give you the opportunity to ask you any questions we may have. Christine.
Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Well, on the morning of the royal wedding, road closures will be in place from about 6 o'clock in the morning. This is an essential part of making sure that this event can take place safely and appropriately. Between 8:15 a.m. and 9